Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our talk show. My guest today is Mr. Bertas Venckaitis, head of Lithuanian Representative Office here in Ramallah. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Mr. Talat. Thanks for having me. Marhaba, good morning.
Good morning, and Acho for being with us. Thank you for being with us again. We've been talking just last week, actually, regarding the both sides' relations and how we can evaluate this relation politically, economically, in all sides, all fields. There have been many activities since 2016 till today, trying to build better relationship between Lithuanians and Palestinians, because I believe this is the final destination. It's both sides, I mean both people, how they can be close to each other by having better cooperation, maybe in education, in economy, in political side, in many issues. This is your fourth year in Palestine, and you are the third ambassador to your country here in Palestine. How you can just summarize your experience within the last almost 4 years, especially in this complicated mission in our country?
Yeah. Well, it might take us very long hours to speak about my 4 years here in Palestine, but I was trying to engage as much as possible with the Palestinian people all over the Palestine. As you rightly said, it's quite a complicated place, and especially in these very difficult times, but we were trying to work towards the better understanding between our two peoples. We were trying to build people-to-people ties, business-to-business ties, to tell a story about Lithuania to the Palestinians, and to open channels for Lithuanians to better understand Palestinian narrative, Palestinian cause, Palestinian situation. So over the past 4 years, I'm almost 4 years here in Palestine. So we were up. There were ups and downs, of course. I arrived during COVID. There was problematic to bring people from my country here to Palestine, but if I look back, we had very intense and I think very successful years, couple of years minimum, where we had delegations coming pretty much every month to Palestine, to various cities. So we've been focusing on building these ties between Lithuanian and Palestinian people. We had high-level visits. Our Prime Minister was here, our Foreign Minister was here, our Minister of Economy was here. We had number of deputy ministers, but we had also a lot of people from the sectors like IT, innovation, environment, coming and engaging with the Palestinian counterparts, and of course business people. For them, I was positively not surprised, but I was encouraged in a way that Lithuanian business community found Palestinian business community very interesting, and they want to engage into trying to look for the areas they can promote economic cooperation. So many positives. I think we can, despite all the challenges we have, we can take many positives out of the past few years, and I think we need to really trying to keep the pace, trying to keep the momentum, and to really continue to engage. And this, I think, lays the good foundation for better political, let's say, cooperation between our two countries. So I will stop with that, I think.
Well, actually maybe some of our audience as well, they believe, or at least what they know, that ambassador is a political kind of management, So why you believe that some ambassadors, I mean from Europe or from other countries, working in all that fields, encouraging the economic ties, maybe the trade relation, in education as well, having more delegations, whatever, from Lithuania to Palestine or from Palestine to Lithuania. Do you believe that this is your real mission? Because what we know in Arab world in general, that it's a political stage that you have. You will live this stage as an ambassador, but you are not required maybe from your government to move inside between the Chamber of Commerce, the municipalities, the Ministry of Education, whatever, maybe visiting the camps in Palestine and many issues. Why some foreign ambassadors, you believe that they are doing this, or you believe that this is their real mission, to move all together in all fields to build a powerful relationship between the two countries?
Thanks for this question, Talat. I think my mission, I can speak of course on behalf of myself, my mission is basically is to connect people. It might sound naively maybe, very simplistic way, but really I try to do my best in order to connect right people with the right people. And as you rightly said, we had an area of wide area of sectors where we can look into the potential our countries have. I mentioned several, innovation, right? ICT, many sectors, environmental, trade, so experiences, absolutely. I mean, cultural ties, right? Palestinian culture is so unique. Lithuanian culture is also we have very old and very unique language. We have very deep traditions, even Islamic traditions in Lithuania. We have Islam in Lithuania for over 600 years because our Grand Dukes at one point in history, they invited Tatars from Crimea to settle in Lithuania, and they built beautiful wooden mosques. So these type of stories, they can really open eyes, and they can open new avenues for cooperation, and they can create some sort of curiosity that actually we are not so far away from each other. It's just 4 hours flight. I mean, it's not 14 hours flight. It's I think my job here is to try to unlock this unknown, and to try to show to the Palestinians and Lithuanians that, guys, this is the area, these are the people, these are your potential partners, and why don't we try to really create some positives and win-win collaboration. So basically I was trying to look quite wide in the beginning, into many areas, and then lately we were focusing mainly on, I would say, 3-4 main blocks we can really go deeper into, and to unlock the potential. So I'm not saying that we achieved a breakthrough, but I think we're on the right path, because we have already quite solid connections and partnerships built between Lithuanian associations, business community.
It takes time. Usually.
It takes time, and it's but now I'm very happy that they don't need me as a person or as a representative to try to somehow to manage this relation, or to do it artificially, you know. These are already genuine and very friendly ties we've managed to create between some Palestinian organizations, associations, and Lithuanian ones. So, you know, my job is, I was sent here, and I believe all of my colleagues who work in other missions all over the world, our mission is to connect people and to look for these win-win collaborations. And I cannot focus on one specific area. As you rightly said, of course, it's a political position, but we have so many areas we can try to build positive relations. So I am not limiting myself, and I think it would be super unwise, to limit myself and to observe the situation. So if I have an opportunity, I always try to engage and to look for the possibilities.
You told me before that you visited many places in Palestine, especially maybe Chamber of Commerce in Hebron, and then I would like to listen or to hear from you about your experience in your first visit in Hebron. Just to break the rules a little bit, and how people in Palestine received your message, because we are always working or active with non-countries, whatever, in UK, in Turkey, China, whatever. So as an ambassador of a country just started here, her mission just in 2016. How they received your message, and let me start with your first visit in Hebron, and then what's happened in the Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you for this question. Well, as we spoke last week, it's a bit pity I did not start to write my diary. Here there were so many unique.
We are doing that. Actually.
We are doing that now. Yes,
but on air.
Yes, but on air. But I can recall my first trip to Hebron. It was few months after I arrived here, and it was still COVID, and I went to Hebron, and it was suddenly the traffic jam. I found myself in huge traffic jam in the middle of the city. It was, I think, 11 a.m. And then I saw people honking, driving crazy, celebrating, shooting fireworks, and there was a big festivity in the city, and I had no idea what is going on. So I was stuck with my wife for maybe 1 hour in the middle of Khalil, and then I called a colleague of mine who was actually waiting for me, and he said it's Taujiki. The results were announced, and this was my first interaction with this tradition, the Taujiki.
It's your first time in your life.
Yes, and I had no idea that this is the day when the results will be announced. I had no idea what is Taujiki about, and then I found myself in the middle of Taujiki. So this is just one experience, and then you mentioned Chamber of Commerce.
You continue, of course. You didn't get back.
No. Of course, I continued, and then I went to the Chamber of Commerce, meet my partners there, and it was my first trip to Hebron, to Chamber of Commerce, but one of 100 trips, I think, because Hebron, I became a frequent visitor here, and if we have friends from Hebron listening to us, best regards to them, stay strong, fantastic people, and we've been with the very vibrant Hebronite business community. We were trying to promote
they are hard workers.
Yes, and we were trying to promote business collaboration between Lithuanian and Palestinian business community. But in Hebron, we had the Lithuanian business delegation. We managed to bring some Lithuanian businessmen to Hebron. Colleagues from Hebron business community were in Lithuania on business mission. And we signed some agreements between Hebron Chamber of Commerce and Lithuanian Chamber of Commerce.
In specific fields?
It was chamber-to-chamber agreement, but Hebron Chamber of Commerce is very strong and very big, and we managed to build partnerships and found the partners for them in Lithuania. So you
believe that?
By the way, I was attending big shows, Hebron Food Expo, Hebron Beauty Expo, Hebron Construction Expo, and really I was lucky to meet a lot of people, but and everywhere I went, I was welcomed to the open hearts, and I received just love, support, and good intentions. And we've been working together. I mean, it's not. I always say it takes two to tango. So there is the saying you
Sure.
cannot do on your own.
Absolutely.
So in Hebron, Lithuania had found very strong partners and really friends. And just to recall another episode from one of the first visits to Hebron, because I was going there then every second week. I think I was in Hebron.
Really?
Yeah. So
you love the city.
I love the city. I love the people. I love the unique character of Hebronites, and at some point I felt I'm partially local there, but I mentioned Islam. I mentioned this heritage we have in Lithuania, and I recall one of the first visits I was engaging with Hebronites, and it was full auditorium, full hall of people. And then of course I was trying to say about Lithuania, where we are strong, where our advantages maybe as a country. I was speaking about digital services, about innovation, about life sciences, but then I mentioned that there will be Ramadan in Lithuania as well in a week, because we have Muslim community. So and it opened their eyes.
I will talk about.
Yes.
Maybe we'll make it in the
Yeah.
last of our interview to talk a lot about the community and the history of Lithuania. Do you believe that there is any potential for now, even with these circumstances, these exceptional circumstances, whatever they start from Hebron or from Nablus or from another city, do you believe that this kind of efforts, by gathering people, connecting people, chamber to chamber, people to people, business to business, whatever, that can break the ice between the two countries and starting real cooperation?
I really do, because if you don't believe it doesn't make any sense to try to push for this type of cooperation. As we speak, I know there are some already contracts signed between Lithuanian and Palestinian business communities. So there is a concrete let's say cooperation which is taking place, very concrete. I don't want to go into details now, but I mentioned we had many visits from Lithuanian experts to Palestine, and especially focusing our experts, Lithuanian experts, they were focusing on trying to work together with Palestinian IT community, let's say, from both public and private sector, in order to share our experience and our lessons learned and maybe our knowledge on how to make some of the services digital, how to make some of the services more efficient and more down to the people. So, despite all the challenges, this type of cooperation is taking place, and it's continuing. And we have plans to bring another group of Lithuanian colleagues and it will be their 4th, 5th, 6th visit to Palestine already next month. So we are continuing our
even with
exactly even with this situation. Of course, it is hard to predict what will happen in the coming weeks and months, but we are trying to stick to our plans, because I think it is very important to be consistent in on top of what we are doing. We need to try to be consistent and focused. And being focused, I think this is the key for success. So we managed to build this type of strong friendship and collaboration between our two peoples and associations in certain areas, and we will do our best in order to foster this cooperation, and despite all the challenges to go towards together to these tangible results we set in front of us. So the work is going on despite all the challenges.
So we spoke about the B2B, business to business. What about G2G, government to government? What, according to your experience, what should be done, you believe, for better relationship between the two countries?
As I mentioned to you, we had a number of visits from Lithuania. High-level officials were visiting Palestine, and we are happy about it. And I think it was a good experience of direct interaction with between Lithuanian and Palestinian officials. The dialogue is continuing. But there is always room for improvement, and we will do. I am here in Palestine. I'll do my best to continue promoting political dialogue, and we have concrete plans and concrete schedule how we develop our political dialogue, political relations. There's election year now in Lithuania. We're in the middle of elections, so also it has some nuances because our domestic political scene is quite intense, but the dialogue is continuing. But political dialogue is very important, but I must say, and from my own experience here, people-to-people dialogue and grassroots initiatives are also very important, and they help to develop political understanding and political cooperation.
Even if we as a Palestinians, we don't have a Palestinian representative office in Lithuania.
Well,
you don't believe
it's up to Palestinian. Yeah. It's up to. It's not. I cannot comment on that, but it's up to Palestinian government to make these type of decisions. But I'm very happy Lithuania has the diplomatic office here, the only Baltic state. Baltic state. We are here officially since 2016 on the ground. I am the third Lithuanian representative in Palestine, and we do our best in order to promote ties between our two countries and our two peoples. And it's always, I always take it as a big gratitude that I can work and engage and to try to do my best in order to promote ties between our two people. So we are new, we are not big mission here, but we are here, and I think it's a big asset in order to...
Not big mission, but big efforts.
Big heart. We try to do everything with big heart and with openness and frankness, and to really look. And we are looking for the opportunities all the time where we can find these specific niches which can be of benefit for both, for Lithuanians and for Palestinians. And this is, I think, the most important thing.
So now it's time actually to take our audience to Lithuania.
Yeah, with pleasure.
I will start with your country was named the happiest place in the world for people under 30.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked about that actually, but I let me talk about with you frankly that there is many issues I read about Lithuania that was shocked for me actually, because we don't know a lot about Lithuania, especially in this survey in 2024.
Yeah,
that it's the best place for people to live there under 30. Why and how? And maybe how before why you get that rank and you get that survey all over the world, not in Europe.
Yes. Thank you for the question. And it's not an easy question. And to be very frank with you, myself, I was surprised. I was quite shocked in a way, because we Lithuanians have a saying that we have two national sports. Yeah, one national sport, number one, is basketball, and the second one is complaining, right? So it's a bit strange, but I think it has to do. These results, these positive results, I think we ourselves need to understand. It's my personal take, but Lithuanian society, we need to try to understand why it happened, because okay, we have official criteria why the combination of GDP per capita, social support, a healthy life expectancy, freedom, generosity, and lack of corruption. These were the main components, which the combination of these components led to this result. But my personal feeling is that it has to do with the new generation, because now in Lithuania we have a generation already which were born in the EU, in the European Union. We joined EU in 2004, and now we are in 2024. And I believe these people, this young generation, you can call it Z generation. I'm a bit older, so for me it's not so easy to understand them, but what I was reading and what I am feeling more and more in Lithuania than I visit, it's, I think, this work and life balance which makes people happy. So the financial situation, the economic figures and the quality of life, they are important, of course.
As well, maybe the digital life.
The digital life, yes, but I believe that work and life balance, it's also very important for this young generation. And in Lithuania we have hardworking people, but we also have an opportunity to get access to the services digitally.
All digitalized.
95, pretty much
almost
everything. 95% of services are digital. We have very healthy and very green environment. We have a lot of forests. We have a lot of lakes. People can go from the capital city in 15-20 minutes. They can go on hike, they can go on bike, they can go to refresh themselves. It's I think they don't feel under stress, and I'm not saying that they are completely of the stress, but the combination of all these factors made this striking result. And for myself, it's still, I think we are still digesting what have happened, but paradoxically positively, we have this new generation. After so many years of dark decades of Soviet occupation, after very difficult first decade of our independence, where we had to be very focused on reforms, on transition of our economy from.
You built your own life.
Yes, and then I think now we have the results of this policy we had over the past 34 years since we became independent country again, after 20 years in EU, European Union and NATO, where the young generation, the generation of freedom, they can travel all over the world, they can have the best services possible, and then I think this is the combination of many factors which made them the the happiest country or happiest generation in the world under the age of 30. We have to cherish this. It did not take for. We cannot take it for granted. We need to completely stay focused on our main priorities as a country of being resilient, being resilient, building more services online, more innovations.
You never feel satisfied.
And we never feel satisfied because the world is very complicated, and we have new technologies. Just artificial intelligence, for me, for instance, we need to keep learning all the time, and the innovation is moving very fast. You have processes where you have to always be if you want to develop as a country, as a nation, you cannot stay in the comfort zone, because it is super important to be connected to the world and where the world is heading, and to be part of this, and to be part of innovation, to be part of the leading technology, to be part of avant-garde.
Keep moving.
So this is I think this is the momentum we have in Lithuania now. We want to do more. We want to be better. We want to be constantly improve our country and our society. And I think this is what motivates even me here, and trying to. I
can feel that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Let me finish with the Islamic traditions in Lithuania. Tell me more about that.
Yes. So, roughly 600 years ago, Grand Dukes of Lithuania, Grand Duchy of Lithuania at the time was the biggest country in Europe, about 1 million square kilometers. They invited Tatars from Crimea as the very good soldiers to come to Lithuania and to take land and to become an integral part of our society. And they stayed for 600 years, and we have a very small but very old Tatar community in Lithuania, which is...
They're still there.
They are still there, around 3,000 people, maybe a bit less. Very well integrated. Muslims, Sunni Muslims, and we have 4 mosques actually. 4 mosques in Lithuania, and all of them, 3 of them are wooden mosques.
I read there have been more than 25 mosques in the past.
Yes, but during Soviet occupation, some of them were demolished. We are trying now to rebuild some of the heritage. We have Muslim heritage. 2 years ago, we celebrated Lithuanian Tatar, the year of Lithuanian Tatar history of culture. There were many events taking place all around Lithuania, and I was here in Palestine also organizing several exhibitions about Islam in Lithuania. And we had then exhibitions in several cities in Palestine, in Ramallah, we had an exhibition in Bethlehem, we had an exhibition in Hebron. So this is very deep tradition we cherish. And just one example, for instance, the first mosque in United States was built by Lithuanian Tatars in New York, Williamsburg. And we have very famous people of Lithuanian and Tatarian descent. So I think this tradition, which is very uncommon for our part of Europe. Okay, we have Muslim communities all over Europe, of course, but Muslims in Lithuania, they live for centuries. So this is part of our society and part of our tradition of coexistence. Grand Duchy of Lithuania, which later was joined Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, was the place and still is the place in Europe where different religions, different cultures, different denominations of Muslims, Christians coexist peacefully. So we cherish this tradition. and we can build a lot of this culture of coexistence between religions, cultures, and different ethnic groups within one state. So yeah, I think it helped me. The narrative, the story about Islam in Lithuania and about Tatars in Lithuania opened me an opportunity to get better outreach here in Palestine. As I mentioned, exhibitions, documentaries, and these type of stories unlocks the unknown, and as I mentioned before, it shows maybe that we are not that far away from each other than we think we are.
There is a ties, and you can build and you can move in this on this stage. Finally, your message to Palestinians, especially in this exceptional circumstances in Palestine.
Well, my message is, first of all, I would like to thank all Palestinians for all the love and support I receive here in Palestine, and the message is to stay united as much as possible. This is my main message to the Palestinian people.
Thank you for your message, and thank you for being with us. And I hope before you leave that we can have another interview once we know that you're going to leave Palestine, of course, to continue serving your country and maybe in different mission, or you get back to your country again. Bertas Venckaitis, the representative head of the Lithuanian representative in Ramallah, I thank you very much for being with us, and I wish you all the best for your country and your people. I hope by yourself and by your colleagues they will know more about Palestinians, and they will support Palestinians more and more. And I hope your efforts, you're trying to connect Palestinian people to Lithuania, will have results that we can see and we can touch in the coming future, hopefully.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. It's been great honor and pleasure to be on your show, and I'm very much looking forward for our future engagements, and I wish everybody to stay safe and to stay strong, and let's continue and build our ties between our two peoples. This is very important. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا. Thank you for kind words. أشكر باسمكم جميعا طبعا ضيفي سفير ليثوانيا في فلسطين برتاس، واللي طبعا تحدثنا بإيجاز. أنا بحاول أوجز بعض القضايا اللي حكينا فيها. هو طبعا موجود معنا من حوالي 4 سنوات، ويمكن الملف الأول اللي فتحته مع دور السفراء، وهذا اللي نطمح دائما نشوفه، ومسؤولياتهم الاقتصادية والاجتماعية في بناء أواصر العلاقات بين هاي الدول وتمثيل مصالح بلدهم خير تمثيل. برتاس بالمناسبة اجى عندي هاي المرة الثانية. برتاس بسيارته بمركبته لوحده، بصف لحاله، بينزل لحاله، بيستخدم مصعد لحاله، بيوصل له لحاله، بيحمل مكتبه معاه شنطة مكتبه معاه، بتنقل من دائرة لدائرة، من الرئاسة للحكومة للمؤسسات، وبقول لي هاي سفارتي معي. يعني هو سفارته حاملها بإيده بدون مرافقين، بدون تنسيق مسبق، بدون إجماليات، بدون برستيج كما يقال. وأنا بشكره طبعا على هاي الروح العالية. وبحدثني عن تجربته في زيارته الأولى للخليل يوم نتائج التوجيهي، وتفاجأ بأثناء وجوده في منتصف الخليل بأنه في هناك إطلاق نار كثيف جدا ومسيرات وإلى آخره. فتفاجأ، بيحكي لهم شو في يا جماعة الخير، أنا سفير، شو مالكم؟ قالوا له وسلامتك، هي مجرد نتائج التوجيهي. فكانت صدمته الأولى في الخليل طبعا كما حال كل المدن الفلسطينية. حديثنا مع السفير طبعا تطرقنا فيه لعدة قضايا، وهو بيمثل دولة البطيق الوحيدة في فلسطين. ليثوانيا طبعا بكل تأكيد بدأت مهمتها الدبلوماسية في 2016 كبلد عاش مراحل احتلال السوفيتي، وليس لديهم موارد طبيعية، وعانوا من اللجوء وعانوا من النزوح، وهذا بجزء بيخليهم أقرب إلنا نسبيا. ومع ذلك هي اليوم تصنف كأفضل دولة في العالم للجيل ما دون 30 عام، أفضل دولة في العالم لأسباب طبعا عديدة، منها التعليم وانخفاض الإيجار والمجالات الإبداعية، و95% من البلد ديجيتال كل الخدمات ديجيتالايزد بطريقة، بمعنى خدمات مرقمنة بطريقة يعني جذابة للعيش وجذابة للرفاهية في بلدهم طبعا اللي نتمنى له الخير. 3 مليون مواطن تقريبا، منهم حوالي 3000 مسلم، وتحدثنا طبعا عن الثقافة والحضارة الإسلامية العريقة والكبيرة في ليتوانيا، واللي هي طبعا انضمت للاتحاد الأوروبي منذ العام 2004. أشكركم مرة أخرى على وجودكم معنا اليوم، ونلتقي في لقاء آخر من برنامج حديث الرقيب. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.